mistakes to make a world in which all of God's children can live, or to go into the dark. We must either love each other or we must die.
Vote for President Johnson on November 3rd. The stakes are too high for you to stay home.
Political advertising is the use of audio and visual techniques to promote a candidate's image and persuade the public to adopt a particular viewpoint. It's difficult to accurately express serious political information in just 30 seconds, so candidates have turned to some different techniques. First is the cultivation effect theory, which says heavy TV viewing leads individuals to perceive reality in a way that is consistent with portrayals on television. So messages from adverts become our reality. There's the agenda setting theory. Mass media pays attention to certain events or issues, and they determine major topics of discussion for individuals in society. Whatever the political campaigns are putting out into media easily becomes the topics of discussion in the public's lives. They use our emotions to unite us or to separate us. By tapping into people's emotions, they can influence beliefs, attitudes, and actions. Smear campaigns have been around for as long as political campaigns themselves, dating back to at least Cicero in the Roman Republic in 64 BC.
Never has so much military, economic, and diplomatic power been used so ineffectively as in Vietnam. If after all of this time and all of this sacrifice and all of this support, there is still no end in sight, then I say the time has come for the American people to turn to new leadership, not tied to the policies and mistakes of the past. I pledge to you, we shall have an honorable end to the war in Vietnam.
This time, vote like your whole world depended on it.
Bush and Dukakis on crime. Bush supports the death penalty for first-degree murderers. Dukakis not only opposes the death penalty, he allowed first-degree murderers to have weekend passes from prison. One was Willie Horton, who murdered a boy in a robbery, stabbing him 19 times. Despite a life sentence, Horton received 10 weekend passes from prison. Horton fled, kidnapped a young couple, stabbing the man and repeatedly raping his girlfriend. Weekend prison passes. Dukakis on crime.
Here's one modern take on a negative political ad. What do psychiatrists think of his fitness to keep his fingers on the atomic trigger? Of his tendency to view issues and people from extremes as either all good or all bad? Of his veneration of the military? His aversion to compromise? His mistrust of strangers? And the impulse statements he later modifies or denies? Sound familiar? Like it could have been written about a candidate currently running for president. But no, this was written in the summer of 1964 in Fact magazine about GOP presidential candidate Barry Goldwater. Dirty U.S. presidential campaigns and political ads are nothing new. During the 1800 campaign between Thomas Jefferson and John Adams was called a repulsive pedant and a hideous hermaphroditical character. In turn, Thomas Jefferson was called a godless atheist and the son of a half-breed Indian squaw, sired by a Virginia mulatto father. In 1828, Andrew Jackson's wife was the center of the campaign against him, and she was called a dirty black wench, a convicted adulteress who was prone to open notorious lewdness. John Quincy Adams, Jackson's counterpart that year, was said to have sold his wife's maid as a concubine to the Tsar of Russia. It doesn't end there. In 1884, James G. Blaine's campaign released an advert against his opponent, Grover Cleveland. Cleveland had fathered an illegitimate child, one who he hadn't claimed up to that point. The GOP released a line, "Mama, where's my pa?" The Democrats struck back with "Gone to the White House, ha ha ha." As radio changed the face of technology and how we interpret and receive messages, so too did campaign ads. Why do we use negative campaigns as opposed to positive ones? Human psychology would suggest people would respond better to positive ads. People feel more trusting when they associate someone to good feelings. Studies also show positive campaigns are better for democracy. More positive ads usually equal higher voter turnouts, for example, Obama in 2008. However, negative messages are easier to remember during passive listening. The sleeper effect suggests we remember a negative message even if we can't remember the source. Hate is a powerful emotion, often more powerful than hope.
As I said at the beginning, the question before us all, that faces all Republicans and all Democrats, is, can freedom in the next generation conquer, or are the communists going to be successful? That's the great issue. And if we meet our responsibilities, I think freedom will conquer. If we fail to move ahead, if we fail to develop sufficient military and economic and social strength here in this country, then I think that the tide could begin to run against us. And I don't want historians 10 years from now to say, these were the years when the tide ran out for the United States. I want them to say, these were the years when the tide came in. These were the years when the United States started to move again. That's the question before the American people, and only you can decide what you want this country to be, what you want to do with the future. I think we're ready to move, and it is to.
There is a bear in the woods. For some people, the bear is easy to see. Others don't see it at all. Some people say the bear is tame. Others say it's vicious and dangerous. Since no one can really be sure who's right, isn't it smart to be as strong as the bear? If there is a bear.
I'm Barack Obama, and I approve this message.
We are one people, all of us pledging allegiance to the Stars and Stripes.
After college and law school, Barack Obama could have cashed in. Instead, he fought for change, working to rebuild an area torn apart by plant closings.
It was inspiring, absolutely inspiring, to see someone as brilliant as Barack Obama take all of the talent and devote it to making people's lives better.
In Illinois, he brought Republicans and Democrats together, cutting taxes for workers and winning health care for children.
Senator Obama worked on some of the deepest issues we had, and he was successful in a bipartisan way.
And in the U.S. Senate, he's led on issues from arms control to landmark ethics reform.
It was hard to get that ethics bill passed. This is a man who knows how to get things done. He understands that we've got to move forward with a different kind of politics.
There is not a liberal America and a conservative America. There is the United States of America.
Some campaigns are created to unite us, and some want to separate us, both with the hopes of winning your vote over in the election.
Hello, I'm Arnold Price, but then again, you already knew that. Why am I running for president? Because I can. That's why. Where do I stand on foreign policy? Don't start none, won't be none. Healthcare? Easy. If you don't have health insurance, don't get sick. I haven't had so much as a sniffle since 1989. My opponent, Diane Butler, what's she gonna do, waltz into the Oval Office with a white towel over her arm? I don't know where she stands on anything because I don't care. You can't hear anything she says over a bleeding heart. What kind of name is Butler anyway? America, do you want the word butt in the Oval Office? No, didn't think so. How about the word master? That is a title that tells you where and what I am. So vote for me, folks, Arnold Price, because although my opponent is always wrong, I am always right.
Hello, America. I'm Diane Butler. This election year, I would love to see you vote for compassion, security, and prosperity for all. By voting for me for president, you'll be voting for universal health care and an end to needless wars. And I will raise taxes just enough to make sure every boy and girl goes to bed with a full tummy. My presidency will embrace the values that Americans already have. Let's build a future together. As the president of this already great country, I will not be your boss. You will be mine. I'm Diane Butler, and I'm here to serve.
So which one of these will you respond to? Which one worked more for you?
Mr. Price. Yeah, you know what? I don't have any time for any other questions. That's it. Vote Price. The price is always right.